Hello, people. Today is another installment of Learning Art with Mikey T. That would be me. All right, today we're going to be drawing a dragon. So hang on to your hats. It's going to be lots of fun. All right, before I start any drawing, I like to throw in guidelines. It helps me to determine where I want to put different elements of different things into my scene. Um, that guidelines do exactly that. They guide. Reason why I'm saying this and not doing it is because I want to go into time lapse. My last video was over 30 minutes long. I had to keep whittling and whittling and whittling and whittling and whittling. Uh, anyway, this is a Blackwing 602 pencil. It's a very good pencil to own. Uh, I recommend them for shading and what I'm going to be doing my control lines that I'm fixing to put in. I'm going to use this one instead of my mechanical pencil because my mechanical pencil is so sharp. I mean, it is sharp, sharp, sharp that it digs divots, digs ruts into it no matter how lightly I go. And I've got a blunt little tip. I don't know if you can see it on here. Got a blunt little tip on this. So maybe I could do lighter lines. Lighter lines are easy to erase. I'm putting lines down that I want to be able to erase. So anyway, I'm going to put you in time lapse while I draw the control lines. You can see what I'm doing here if you want to draw along with me. Okay. All right. Now, let me take a moment and do what I was telling you about. I'm going to erase these the box control lines. Now, I've got the control lines in for the basic shape of the dragon with the horns and the slope of the brow and the eye and the open mouth and the neck. This is basically the canvas that we're going to be painting with, so to speak. You know, even though this is pencil. So anyway, I'm going to jump back into time lapse and get rid of the controls, and we'll visit you in a little bit. All right, now I'm going to start adding some detail to our little dragon. I'm going to start with let's start with the nose area, which is itself a little nostril flare right here. As you notice, we're gotten doing that tricky 45-degree head, which I like to do. Too many people draw their drawings with either profile straight on to the side or portrait right straight down the center to the front. But I find drawing at the 45 uh, challenging. I like to challenge myself. So anyway, I'm going to draw a center line so that I kind of know how to keep things balanced and whatnot. All right, I'm going to be jumping all around the page and adding different detail and all that. Basically, I would be explaining what I'm drawing, which is not necessary because you can see what I'm drawing. So I'm going to leap this whole thing into uh, time lapse, speed the frames up so that it doesn't take so long, so the video don't take so long. All you have to do is, if you're using it on if you're watching YouTube on a standard computer, just hit the space bar normally, and that just pauses it. You can pause it and rewind if you want to look at the various different steps. But anyway, you're learning this with me. I'm not necessarily teaching you. You're learning it with me. I'm learning these things too. So I'm going to try to speed this up by speeding it up. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take a second and talk about the eyes for a second. All right, if you'll notice, when I do art of anything that's a creature, I focus, well, I don't really want to see that. Let's see. There we go. I focus primarily on the eyes as far as special eyes. That's my thing, is making the eyes really pop on anything. And hopefully we can zoom in on this and show you that the eyes tend to make the creature. Now, you'll probably see me go back throughout the course of this drawing and touch up the eye and touch up the eye over and over and over again. But that's kind of like my thing. I'm the eye guy. So anyhow, I'm going to go back to time lapse to get further along in this drawing, and hopefully you guys are following along. So, whoops, don't want to do that one. Let's do that one. There we go. All right, now we've gotten to this point. Basically, we've got our dragon the way that we want it. Believe it or not, a lot of this is really just control lines. An actual work of art or a drawing of any kind, it pops with the details. Okay, I'm going to go into time lapse to finish this, but what I'm going to be adding, what I'm going to be adding is scales all over it. Uh, Pretty much it. I'm going to darken up the interior of the mouth and whatnot, and I'm also going to throw in Prismacolor Black. It's a colored pencil, I know. It's an escape from. So far, you've seen me using these three, well, four, five, six items for making this drawing. You don't really need all of that, as you can tell by what I'm doing. It just makes life a little bit easier. But anyhow, thank you for watching this. I'll get back up with you at the end of this. Right now, I'm going to finish off the drawing in uh, time lapse. All right, see you at the end. All right, I just want to take a moment or two and talk to you a little bit about the. I don't want to do that either. Just, yeah, that's a little bit more in touch with reality. All right, uh, you notice how my scales are almost circles over here and not touching because in my mind I'm envisioning this dragon's to be a little bit more flesh and subtle scales right here towards the nose, where the nostrils are, and becoming more scale-like as it goes back. A tighter scale configuration around the eyes, and a little bit puffier where you want the cheeks to kind of puff. And as this starts to pull in right here a little bit closer together, we're going to come back with our blending stump later on, maybe even a bigger blending stump such as this right here. And I've got some white gel pens I'm going to use that. I know it's additional things. Then we're going to use the black highlights. We're going to try to make this one look really awesome. I just wanted to give you a few notes about the scales. Uh, the scales, I might make them a little bit big on the forehead, uh, and definitely bigger on the body. I'm not focusing so much on this neck and body that much. It's the face that you want to pop. So anyway, uh, getting back to time lapse. All right, we reached a point in this drawing that I'm going to stop for a second and talk about what I'm going to do next. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to be using my blending stumps. You can use rolled up piece of paper towel. You can even use your fingers. There's really nothing to it. Like I say, these are like under a buck at Walmart in the craft section. Uh, that's not the point. Well, the point is you're going to smear this a little bit. You got to be careful because it's hard to undo. There's no undo button on this. If you'll notice, I have one of these gloves on. It's supposed to be an anti-smear, but you see some of the smearing that I got here. I am cursed with being left-handed. I've been left-handed my whole life, really severely so as a child. See how much I was smudging and I didn't even realize it. Sometimes I try to use the smudges to my advantage, but sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I'm not going to erase too much of that because it looks like it's becoming part of the drawing. That's a shame. Sometimes it does work out. Uh, I tried at first, obviously, I discovered these gloves out of necessity, and I was much worse of a problem. This is a right-hand person's world, and I'm a lefty trying to actually draw in their world, since it is their world, the righties, the attack of the righties. Okay. Uh, I'm probably going to smudge it a little bit more throughout the course of this. You've seen me go through this a lot. I'm switching off different pencils and whatnot. I switch off different pencils because this little mechanical pencil, it's always sharp and it's always a fine line. And I don't have to dig in to get that fine line. The other one, the 602, is great for shading large areas. It'll do some details. When you're shading, if you keep it on just one area, you tend to sharpen it. You can roll this pencil to get different contours. Uh, you can kind of do that too with the mechanical pencil, but not so much. Anyway, I'm going to go back through this and we'll try to finish off this drawing. All right. I think we're going to call it quits on this one. I think this is a done deal. So I hope you enjoyed this little episode. And what you also always bear in mind that you need to sign your drawings. You need to sign your work just so in the future, if by any chance possible, your artwork gains any sort of notoriety, you will be helping people authenticate the item. I like to put the date on it. That gives me a sense. See what is today's date? Today's date is September 30th, the last day of September for 2021. 09302021. Can't believe it. All right. So there you have it. There's my finished product. And I certainly hope that you enjoyed watching this, and hit like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's fine anyway. I am just merely recording my I'm recording my art while I make it, simply to help me learn better. I do a better job knowing that maybe somebody might be watching and maybe not. I don't do it for monetary income. It's pretty much just for the fun of it. And I hope you enjoy watching me make these little creations of mine. I'm not a professional artist, but I'm certainly having fun doing what I'm doing. So anyhow, I want to bid you all goodbye.